Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Wednesday, the 13th day of April. Here we go. In Chametz and Pesach laws, there is a general, very stringent rule that even the tiniest bit of Chametz is not really nullified on Pesach, so that if a crumb of a pretzel fell into your soup and you would be tempted to say, oh, it's nullified, it's, a tiny bit. And we're not like that about Chametz on Pesach. We get crazy, I don't want to say crazy, super strict about situations like that, and we say, don't eat that bowl of soup because a speck of Chametz fell into it. Well, in today's halach, I wanted to teach you that we are not the same about Kitniyos. Remember, we've been explaining to you that Kitniyos was that rule instituted because things like rice and corn, according to Ashkenazic Jews, can be confused with chametz. They aren't actual chametz, but they can be confused with it, and so there's a stringency to not eat rice or corn or their derivatives. But it didn't get as strict as chametz in the sense that if a speck of kitnios ended up on your food, you would not have to worry about it. Let's give some examples. It's possible that something like cornstarch could have been used possibly in some paper towels that you want to use on Pesach. So if you're frying something and you put it down on the paper towel and you're like, oh no, now some starch from the kitnios so that was in the gluing the two paper towels together or whatever could have gotten on my fish and now my fish has to be thrown out. So we do not say such a thing. We're not that strict with kitnios as we are with chametz, so you don't have to worry about putting your fried food to just soak up the oil and put it on a paper towel. It would not be a problem. You don't have to worry about it. If you suspect that there's chametz in the paper towels, okay, but you would not have to worry if there's kitnios in the paper towels. We're just not that strict with the kitnios rule. And here's another interesting thing for you to know. I'm going to take you off topic for a minute. The Shulchan Aruch says that if you had a lamp that was filled with kitnios oil, okay, that might seem like not like our topic. Let's say it was corn oil, and you were using it to light up your home. So back when they used to use oil to light up homes, the Shulchan Aruch said, go ahead and use corn oil to light up your home, and you don't have to fear that some of the corn oil will spray onto some of your food or something because of the rule that we've just been saying, that we don't have to worry about specks of kitnios the way we worry about specks of chametz. Another example would be let's say musk. Musk is a byproduct of a gland that's in the stomach of a deer. And this is not a chametz law, I just want to explain it to you. So it's a byproduct, and somehow through great changes, they can take that stuff and turn it into other foods. And you wouldn't have to worry about how, well, that's blood and you're not allowed to eat blood, because by the time it's totally changed over into a totally different kind of thing, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Without getting into the specifics of that, the same kind of thing will happen in some kitnios situations. Let me explain what I mean and be clear here. If you have corn, we say that's kitnios, Ashkenazic Jews, and we don't eat corn. A derivative of corn is corn oil, and we try not to use that either. Another derivative is high fructose corn sweetener, which is in a lot of our foods, and we won't eat foods sweetened with that either. But what about when they start to change over that corn oil through, and it's called kitniyos shenishtanu, kitniyos that really changed into a whole nother byproduct. So there, you have to trust the rabbis who follow the happenings of modern day foods and their productions and say that some of them, like when corn oil is turned into ascorbic acid, that's a whole new product. Okay, so if you saw ascorbic acid, which you're smart and you happen to know comes from corn oil derivatives, but it's totally changed over and it's not corn oil by that point, so then you would be allowed to have foods that have ascorbic acid in them. But trust me on this, I've been reading this in books. When they take corn syrup and turn it into sorbitol or dextrose, which is some sweeteners that you'll see in foods, those are not called totally switched over. They still are a little bit like the actual corn oil, and therefore they're not called a new entity, and things like sorbitol and dextrose are prohibited from our foods on Pesach. So please watch out for that. Some oils that I want to tell you are no problem at all are things like olive oil, palm oil, coconut oil, and walnut oil. Most of the rabbis say that they are no problem at all. Lastly, I want to tell you that there were a couple of rabbis who said that we Ashkenazic Jews didn't eat rice or corn. But what about corn oil? It's a derivative. Maybe we shouldn't care about it. There were a few rabbis who said that, but the ruling of most of the rabbis of most of the kosher operations today rule that things like corn oil do have to be treated like kitniyos, and that's why you'll actually see, if you looked on the ingredients of your sodas, you would actually see that where HFC, high fructose corn sweetener, was usually the sweetener in your soda, on kosher for Pesach sodas, most rabbis will try to get the kosher agencies overseeing the sodas, will get them to actually switch that over to cane sugar for the production of the sodas for Pesach time. Some interesting facts for you. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.